Hey y'all, welcome to Let's Talk About it with Courtney Carroll. I am here, I'm excited. Let's talk about turning 36 and what I have learned. It's a little daunting when you think about 36 and what I thought 36 would be like and what I've learned and the lessons, and I just hope it's helpful for you. Whether it's your 21st birthday, your 30th, or maybe you're turning 36 with me, or maybe you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s. I think every year on your birthday is such a great time to evaluate your life, the year. What worked, what didn't. A lot of people save this for New Year's Eve and do the New Year's resolution, and that's great. And what did this year teach me? And I kind of go back and like the archives, if you will, and I think about the lessons and what I share with my clients and what they shared with me, and maybe there's some good stuff to share today. First off, what I thought 36 would be like. Let's be real. I thought I'd still be married. I thought I'd probably have another kid. I thought I would be working a lot more in person, but right now I'm strictly telehealth, and I think that's kind of fun anyway. I love telehealth. We can go into that another day. I never thought I'd be back in Washington, and I'm excited that I am. And I used to think like this would be middle age. No, absolutely not. I refuse. I will call 60 middle age. Like that fits more of the bill for me. I feel like my life is just getting going, and that's pretty exciting. A lot, like I used to think like 36 was so far away, and I remember like being in my early 20s, like, and again, what I just told you, what I thought it would be like, and it's not. And honestly, thank God it is not what I thought it would be, in a way where I just kind of like the white fence, the house, and all these things, and it wasn't going to be messy. I would be like, my life would be together, and I thought it would be a lot easier. And I think that's such a human thing to like think about when we're like, oh, when we're older, we'll have it figured out. Nope. I am actively working on myself. I am actively building my career. I am actively still learning a lot of hard lessons. But what I do differently than my early 20s is I don't avoid them. I've talked about the pivots, the challenges, and the redirection, and all of that. I did not have that information in my 20s. I used to think it would just wreak havoc on me, a breakdown, and why is the world not fair? And what a privileged thing just to say in that way, right? Why is that not fair? And the reality is, it's not supposed to be. I never thought I would be divorced. I never thought I would end an engagement after moving across the country to start a life with someone, and here I am. I never thought I would only have one kid at this point. Maybe you don't. I thought I'd at least have two. And now I'm grateful for Hazel. Like, I'm so grateful. It'd be a lot harder to be a single mom of two. Plus, if you do it, hands down, I think you are a badass, and think you're awesome. And a dad too. You guys are awesome. It's a lot of work, and in the best way possible. And time management. Gosh, I would have never thought I would got that together, but you have to in your mid-30s. Like, you kind of have to navigate that. And what I love about turning 36 is it's just starting. I used to think it started in the 20s. I don't know who I was in my 20s. Which goes back into, if you've heard this before, I'm sure there's a ton of quotes out there, is if you knew a version of me, or if you knew me 5 years ago, if you knew me 10 years ago, if you knew me in elementary, junior high, high school, college, chances are you do not know me anymore. Unless you are actively in my life. I am not the girl you knew. I'm not the girl I knew a year ago. I am always evolving and changing in different ways. Sometimes not always for the best, but I hope always for the better. The girl in my 20s just kept the peace, stayed in a marriage that didn't treat her well, was a people pleaser, put other people before her at the sacrifice of herself. I used to be sick a lot, and I thought I had like some extreme autoimmune disorder. Nope, I just put everyone before myself, and it cost me sleep, it cost me life, and that happens. You're about to hear a train coming by soon. I live in the Puyallup-Sumner area, and trains come by all the time. But anyway, I've grown so much from that people pleaser young 20s to like feeling like I had to fight for love, fight for attention, and also make myself small, hold myself back in the process. And what does that look like? It means staying quiet in a room to not be seen, to not share my opinion about politics, belief systems, rights, because I know the other person has different belief systems than me. It's to give the attention to someone else, even if it's like my birthday. How funny is that? Like, I remember doing that a lot. Or only feeling like I can have attention on my birthday because it was finally a day about me. I'm trying to think of other options, but like there's like so many times I have made myself small to make other people comfortable. And that is probably my biggest lesson since my divorce. So if you're going through divorce and you're like, how did I get here? Like, what does it mean? What did I do in that relationship? How did I also contribute to my divorce? That, even though I was cheated on, I had to go there and learn about myself. My ex, like, I didn't demand or require them to, well, I wanted them to first before I said and he knew I wanted him to go to therapy and figure out why things happen and to see where I'm contributing. It was, and I wish I would have known I deserved that. I wish I would have known I deserved a partner that is willing to work on themselves. It's now, if you were dating me, like, that's a requirement. When, like, how do you work on yourself? And I wouldn't have known that dating early in my life. Just dating in general was a whole lot of lessons that I promise we'll get to. I've said that a few times, I'm sure. And I didn't know who I was, so why would my partner, why would my family, why would anyone else know who I am? And I just thought people should read my mind and know I'm hurt or I'm upset, and now I have to speak to it. What I didn't do in my 20s is tell people often when they hurt my feelings. And if I did, I probably didn't do it well. Now I will actively sit with a friend or call them and let them know, like, hey, this kind of didn't sit well. Can we talk through it? I wouldn't have known how to do that. And it's not because I'm a therapist. It's because I've been a client, a patient, whatever that is in the seat, across from a therapist. And I don't know everything. And that's something I thought I would know at 36. Don't know why. I will never know everything. But I will share what I do know, and I will always hope that it goes, like, it's helpful. I probably say that a lot to my clients. I hope by sharing my life experiences, it's helpful, makes you feel not alone in the world. And that was the whole idea of this podcast. I never, ever would have launched a podcast in my 20s. I battled not being worthy, or like, what does that, cocky, is that confident? Like, who has the audacity to do that? A couple years ago, I wouldn't have done it out of fear. And I will not lie, I do have some anxiety about launching this and the comments and whatever that looks like, and what if people don't like it? And now I am saying, but what if there's one that does? What if this does help someone? Isn't that worth it? Being vulnerable in a chair in my own home and sharing my life experiences, telling you what it's like to turn 36 and sharing some lessons maybe would help. And what do I have to lose? And that's a challenge to you. Is there something you've been wanting to do and you've avoided it just because of what other people might say? I know there will be naysayers in my life. I 100% know. They might be some of my favorite people that are like, what is Courtney doing at 36, expanding her business and launching something new? And I just am at a point. I want to. I feel called to do it. And I know people are doing it. Obviously, this is not gonna be the only podcast on the world. It's not the only YouTube channel. There's a million. And I listen to a lot of them and I think it's amazing. And I'm not in competition with them. I'm not in competition with you. I'm not in competition with anyone. And that's also a lesson I learned in my 30s. Me stepping up and stepping out of my comfort zone to expand my business to help people has nothing to do with anyone else besides what I want to do with my life. And I don't have to be small or keep the peace, or if this makes anyone else uncomfortable, that's okay. That's okay that they're uncomfortable, but I'm not responsible for that. I am only responsible if I actively choose to hurt someone. And if I do, because I'm human, hurt or offend someone, I hope that especially if they're my close friend and family, whoever you are, that they can bring it to my attention, pull me aside, give me a call, shoot me a text message, and say, hey, Court, can we talk? And if I hurt you, I would have been defensive when I was younger, I will apologize. My intention is never to hurt someone, and I will own my part in things I do and contribute to. And that's something I wouldn't have known how to do in my 20s. And it's something new. And this is how do you do that? You ask your friends not to call you out. That's what young 20s would do. Call me out. If you have a problem with me, tell me. But I never meant it in a way where, hey, I love you, and if I hurt you, tell me. Because I can't fix anything. I am not telepathic. I might be a therapist, but I am not telepathic. I cannot read your mind and know that you're hurt. I can own if I do something, and I will work on myself actively to fix that, especially if you're an important person in my life. I welcome that with clients, and I hope that I have that relationship with clients. I can tell you a few stories about having that happen in the room with me, with a client, because I'm human. I mess up, but what I love is I own it. And if I can model that and mirror that in a room with my clients, I hope I can share that with you and have you learn. Chances are I never intentionally hurt someone. I am not a malicious person. I know that about my heart, though. And I used to think, oh, I'm just the worst person. How did I not know that? I don't know things because I'm not told things. And I can't really do anything about any information I don't have. I can do a lot of work with the information I do have. And so can you. So if you're in that spot where you're struggling with relationships or wondering if you hurt people's feelings, and ask yourself, hold your stomach and ask yourself, was I malicious? Did I have bad intentions? Did I know this would hurt someone and I went forward with it? If yes, that's a good time to talk to someone. Whether it's a therapist, counselor, a mentor, a good friend that you trust, run it through. I used to make things about me that had nothing to do with me. I would have friends that didn't open up and share things with me, and I would take it offensively. Why? And that has nothing to do with me. Everyone has their own life. And now at this point in my life, I don't hold that as a standard anymore to get it right with everyone. I recognize more than any time in my life so far, in my short 36 years, that I'm not perfect. I'm humble, and I mean well, and I'm authentic, and I try to do things genuinely. And if I mess up, I mess up, and I work at it. Why would I make that comment? I evaluate that like that. If I said something rude, I internalize, I journal, I talk it through with my therapist, and why that would happen. Like the Freudian slip that people say, and like, well, that had to have meant something. It not always, by the way, as a trained therapist, not always. But at the same time, look at it. Why would that slip? Why would I call someone that name or swear for not swear. I swear all the time. I swear like a freaking sailor, and I'm a little nervous about that with podcasts, but we'll see. Hopefully I don't get in trouble. And I also tell clients that, just so everyone knows. I tell clients all the time, I'm from the West Coast, I'm from Washington, I was a military wife. I swear. And I own that. So let's step into now, and what would I want younger me to know? One, it's all going to be okay. And that goes to a lot of spots in my life. You can see the tears well up my moving away from my family to join my ex-husband in North Carolina. Being scared. I didn't know what my marriage was going to look like. I didn't know what it was going to be like to be away from all that I knew. It's going to be okay. It actually works out. It actually works out for your best. Becoming a young mom, it's gonna be okay. You'll figure it out. You didn't know better. Like if you're a new parent, it's scary, and especially it's your first kid. You've never done it before. It's okay. You're frustrated. You're sad. You cry. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. It's actually working out just the way it's supposed to. Leaving my husband, crying my eyes out. What am I really gonna do? I would tell that girl, I've got you. It's really gonna be okay. This actually helps you, changes your life in a really good way. But feel the pain, feel what you're going through. It actually turns out you're going to help a lot of people because of your situation. Figuring out being a single parent and feeling like you fail. Like, am I doing this right? It's all going to be okay. And even as I navigated and I fell in love again, and I'm going to record that episode soon, and having it not work out again, it's gonna be okay. What I can say is what I'm bringing into the next 30 years is, one, I know it's gonna be okay. I know I survive and work through hard things. I trust myself that if I can go through, and I go through the catalog. I got through this, I got through that, I got through this. What makes it, why do I feel like I can't get through this next challenge, this personal experience? And when I recall the catalog of the stuff that's happened in my life that I thought would destroy me and hurt me, it actually only made me more aligned with myself and brought me to a greater purpose. And instead of resisting them and pretending like they didn't happen, I acknowledge it. And I take it with me, and I hope it helps people. And again, it's a different world when you're a therapist, and you know, not all of y'all are going to be therapists, teachers, and you're like to share your shared experience, but you are friends. You might be a mentor. If you're a parent, like your stories and your experiences and how you share them with the world, it's important. I will always share hardships with my daughter, not at 4. But as she gets older, she will know life, because I don't want her to feel like she won't experience things. And if she does, like, mom never went through that, or dad never went through that. And I will hope just like I do with clients, I will hope my daughter hears my stories and be like, you're not alone. Life can be hard and unfair. And the best thing is, what do you want to do with it? So again, instead of resisting challenges, I'm leaning into them. That does not mean it feels good, y'all. 36 fresh, I do not have everything figured out. The difference between early 20s, 25, 29, 30, 33 to now is I know I will. I will figure it out. If not, I'm an adult and I'm smart and I'm kind, and if I can't figure it out alone, I will seek out help. I find a therapist. I will reach out to a doctor. I will ask a friend for help. I will Google like resources of situations I'm in, and I'm smart enough, and there's ChatGPT. There's so many crazy things out there that we didn't have at our younger ages. Like, you'll figure it out. And what wasn't meant for me was not meant for me. And that's something I've just like worked towards acceptance. In your 30s, like, you really learn and define who you are as a person. I really believe that. I think 20s is like you grow up. I got to experience traveling. I was a flight attendant. I got to experience the world. I got married young, and I had an 11-year marriage, almost 13 years with someone, and I loved him very much. I have no regrets with that. I stayed through hardships in my marriage, and I did get divorced. And I used to think that's going to be like my biggest shame in the world, is like, I can't believe as a couples therapist, like, I'm getting divorced. Yeah, and that's the reality of not working through hard things, or having one person work on things and not have the other, or not coming together. Like, the reality is, when we get married, there is a chance of divorce. It's far surpassed 50%. And if you're in the military community, it's past 70. I think it's past 75 at this point, % of marriages in divorce. And instead of shaming myself for a divorce and can't believe I have to start over, like, no, I'm not going to shame myself or look back at that younger version of myself and say, how dare you? I'm proud of her, and I hope you're proud of your younger selves. They went through so many hard things to get you to where you're at in your life now. And I wouldn't say I'm proud of my divorce, but I wouldn't say I'm embarrassed. I am proud to be in a position where I can share with the world, and my dogs are barking, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm so proud I live in a world where I can share my story and hope that it only helps other people. I truly hope that. And I hope at this age, or any age you are, I hope you find, if there's something you want to do. I've been talking about this podcast for years. I've been working on this for 2+ years of like wanting to do this, being scared to do it, and waiting to do it. And honestly, I do trust that it'll happen for a reason. But if there's something you want to do, lean in. I don't know how this will work out. I'm not editing this. You just heard my dogs bark. And I am not the best person with technology. I hope to only get better at this. And I know I will. And what I encourage, if it's your birthday or if it's getting close, I would take some time and journal and say, what have I learned all these years? And if you're 20, what have I learned in these 20 years? What do I want to grow in the next year? I personally, I'm answering that question right now. What do I want 36 to look like? I want 36 to be where I live out my life out loud, where I don't hide in a chair in my office and don't tell anyone what I do for work, when I'm actually really proud of what I do for work. I don't want to hide that I've been divorced. I don't want to hide that I am single again and broke up with a fiance I thought I'd spend the rest of my life with. I'm not embarrassed of falling in love again after divorce. I'm proud that every year I learn something new and I evaluate myself and I only want to grow. And again, if you knew me before, I'm working on myself still, you know? And if you are like, can I really change? Of course you can. But what if like people judge me? They will. They will. That's what I know when I'm posting this stuff. I know people would judge me or not understand me. And what I do know is, I can't remember, I want to say it was Rachel Hollis. Others people's opinion of me is none of my business. And I hope I just carry that into this year. That is my wish for this year, that I will not let other people's opinion deter me, change me, or make me question what I post, or that doesn't mean I won't learn. Like, I will learn. But to not let other people's opinions of me stop doing this. Because I have good intentions of helping. I have the best intention. Again, I have good intentions and I'm putting this out there, putting myself out there, growing my business, expanding my private practice, and launching my coaching business because I want to help people. And I am okay with that. I'm actually very excited about that. As soon as I get off here, I get to go launch everything and put myself out there and hope the world is kind and again just knows I am showing up authentic. I know that this isn't perfect. I know that I'm not perfect. I will forever be a student of myself, of my practice and my business. And that's kind of exciting. I hope that you can take away, if you took away anything, I hope you just lean into each birthday. And instead of saying, I don't want to get older, or can I be older? I remember that when I was younger. I'm like, I want to be older. 30, I'll figure out life. Nope, that didn't happen. But what do I want for this next year? And what did I learn last year? What am I leaving last year? And what, like what's the game plan? What do I want 5 years from now to look like? I know it might not go according to plan, but I know personally I want to travel. I want to help as many people as I can. I want to continue to build being comfortable in my own skin. And I want to forever be a part of a community that wants to grow and get better. And I hope I'm part of that for anyone that needs it. And I want to thank you for taking the time. We're almost at 30 minutes, and I think that's just a perfect sweet spot to end this podcast for my birthday, so I can go ahead and get going for the rest of the day. And thanking you for joining me, and I hope this resonates with you, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. And if it's your birthday, happy birthday. And if you haven't been told this, I'm proud of you. And more importantly, I hope you're proud of yourself. If you just got out of a hard chapter and you're getting older and a birthday's coming, and instead of having it be like doomsday, I encourage you again, how do I make this better? What do I want to do? Let's leave that mistake in the past. I can't live there anymore. The past is the past. Who do I want to be this year? And if you're anyone like me and like, I want to come out of the shadows. I want to share the world with what I do. A lot of my friends and family don't even really know what I do. And it's because I kept it kind of like in a lockbox, like in my heart, like this is just what I do. And only my clients know. And I'm unlocking the box this year, y'all. And I'm excited to do it with you. And I am so grateful to be here. And again, Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for wanting to talk about it, and let's keep talking about it. Until next time, guys. Thanks.